And welcome back to the Veterans Radio Network. My name is Shellee Harrison, and I'm your host today. And we're so happy that you've joined us. We have an amazing guest today. And I want to also thank our production team, which is behind the scenes, as well as our executive director, Joseph Molina. We've got our producer, Jimmy Odong, and Dolly Rivera, and Laura Torres, who also do a great job on the show. Again, I'm your host, Shellee Harrison. And on our Veterans Show, we talk with heroes in action every day, and we get to interview the most amazing people across the country. And today, the guest that I have, again, you're going to really enjoy my guest today. We showed the sponsor for today, which is Groomed and Tailored, and the owner of the company is Michael Allison, who we've had on the show before. And we want to make sure that you know about his company. And again, his company is Groomed and Tailored. My first guest today, again, like I'd mentioned, is Shellee Howard. And she is the founder, CEO of College Ready and the best-selling author of How to Send Your Students to College Without Losing Your Mind or Your Money. And before you meet Shellee, I want to share a little bit about her. Shellee is a certified independent college strategist and counselor. She helps middle and high school students and their parents by preparing them for the college admission process, helping them create a standout strategy, get into their best fit college without going into debt, and even how to succeed once admitted. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Shellee Howard onto the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, Shellee. It's so good to see you again. I know we've seen you a couple of different times on different shows, and here you are today with us on the Veterans Radio Show. So thank you for being here. And we are looking forward to actually having you share about the great experiences that you've been providing for students and parents alike. So my first question is, Shellee, is what led you to start your business and what excites you about it?
So, the business actually happened to me, is how I put it. I never really saw it. It wasn't part of my long term vision. It was something that was personal. And my why was my firstborn. He came home from eighth grade and said, Mom, I know exactly what I want to do when I grow up. And I'm like, really? Because I know lots of adults who are still figuring it out.
Yeah.
He said very simply, I want to be a brain surgeon. I want to go to a top tier school. So I searched and searched for somebody like what I do, but this was, let's see, we're 13 years ago now. There was nobody that I could find. And so I knew that he, as a 17-year-old, was not going to be able to navigate this on his own. So I spent 20 to 30 weeks figuring it out. And it is truly my passion. I get to help students and their families navigate the whole application process and so much more.
Oh, and I know firsthand just some of the students and parents that you've helped, and I mean they just rave about you, the services that you provide and the way that you go about doing it. And I know we were talking in the green room about a story of a veteran that you recently helped. So can you share a little bit about that story?
Absolutely. It's always my honor. Every student I get, every family, but there's a few of them who pop up on my radar. And this young man, said in his own words he wasn't mature enough to go off to college, so he needed to get a little more mature, and he felt like the military was the best option. So straight out of high school, he did enlist. He was in the military for, I believe, a little over 4 years.
Hmm.
And he came to me and said, I know that I have some privileges that I've earned by being a vet, but I don't know anything about college or how to get there or what all of this means.
Yeah.
And I've worked with vets before. My grandfather was one, and so maybe that's why they're a soft spot in my heart. But we
Yeah.
worked together hand in hand and helped him to figure out what are the best colleges for being a vet. Which ones will he get the best benefit at, not only financially, but academically and socially, because now he's a little bit older.
Right. And a
So
civilian.
and
Yeah.
a civilian, yes.
Right.
And so, I remember he was debating, do I go to a private school where my rewards of being a vet are not going to play out?
Mhm.
Or do I go to a school that truly will be a gift to me? And so that was kind of the first thing that he had to walk through. And then
Yeah.
the second part is, his essays were insanely impactful. I mean, those essays were some of the best essays I've written because he
Mm.
has so much life experience.
Yeah.
So if there's any vet out there who is like, I don't know if I'm college ready, you are probably more college ready than most teenagers. Because what I'm finding is those life experiences in just boot camp alone,
Yeah.
whoa, they're amazing
It's quite an
essays.
experience. Yeah. Yeah.
So the reason I bring him up is he just texted me yesterday and he's like, Shelly, I couldn't have done it without you and your team. I got into every college I applied to and I can't decide now. We need to meet. So he has
Oh,
more opportunity than he
oh
even
my
knows
God.
what to do with, which is a
That is
really exciting thing.
That is very exciting. And and a lot of veterans when they come out of the military, they are highly educated where they've had a lot of just experiences beyond what some of us civilians, have other than going to college. So great story and thank you for sharing that. And like you said, a lot of veterans can take advantage of the services that you provide because look what it's done for this gentleman. Yeah.
Amazing. It was
Yeah.
life-changing for him, and, when he realized he wasn't mature enough to go straight out of high school, what a wise young man, right? I mean, I don't know if I would be able to make that decision. He
Yeah.
just said he just couldn't focus, he had way too much energy, and so it's just another path. Like I tell families, there's not one way to
Yeah.
get to the end, which is the ultimate career. There's the transfer, there's the jump in 4 years, there's military in between, there's so many paths they can take.
Yes. And you know what? I am switching my camera because for some reason my battery just went dead. So
That is
hold on
okay.
just
We've
a
got
moment
you.
here. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. Okay, I'm coming back here. There we go. Okay, sorry about that to our audience. Sorry.
It's okay.
Um, yeah. So no, that's fantastic, Shelly. And walk us through, like for example, when you were working with, or you still are working with the one gentleman with the veteran. Walk us through kind of what that first step is, and then kind of how you work with them.
So the first step is getting clear what would be the ultimate goal. Because if we don't
Yeah.
have the goal, we won't know if we've been successful getting there. So the first thing we do is if in a perfect world, how can we get the student to meet that goal? So if that goal is a corporate job, great. If that job is an entrepreneur, no problem at all. If it's something in between, that's fine as well. So if we have an idea, now if there's no idea, then there's some more options that that student will need to figure out. And what that looks like is it could be personality tests, it could be intellectual tests, it could be a mixture of both. It could be some work placement aptitude. But ultimately, it's a conversation we need to have to figure out who are you and why it matters. Because
Yeah.
until we know the core value of what that applicant or that vet is, how do we know how to get them there? So we do an analysis where we go all the way back to them themselves. What are their
Yeah.
gifts and their talents? What are their passions? What are the things they advocate for? And then we're ready to start putting plans in place. Until then, people just try to fit into a brand name called college. That is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for you to use college as a stepping stone to get you to the ultimate dream, to get you to the end result called a career you love to go to every day.
Yes, exactly. And now, when you were a little girl, did you ever envision that you would be doing this kind of work?
No, mainly because both my parents didn't go to college. So we never
Mm.
talked about college in my family. It was really interesting. how this all came up because there was no discussion. I remember being in high school as a senior, coming home and asking my parents, "What's this thing called college? And do you think I should go?" And they're like, one parent said, "Absolutely, you should go." The other one says, "No, get a job, go make some money, go learn real skills." So I even had a house
Mhm.
divided on if I should go to college.
My goodness. Yeah, and that's, it's definitely something that you have to commit to for a period of time. And a lot of times, students, especially when they're at the age of, 13 to I would say 18, where they're in that stage of not really knowing, what do I want to do when I get older? Do you find that that's the case with a lot of the people that you work with?
So if they wanna do something that their parents do, it's super easy, but
Mhm.
very few students wanna do what their parents do, very few. And
Yeah.
so how would they know? Our high schools are not set up to teach them career stuff. And
Mm.
so we encourage our students to do internships, research projects, but more importantly, a passion with purpose project.
Mm.
Because what that is we start with the student's passion, then
Mhm.
we find out what they like to see changed in the world, and then we teach them how to lead others to create change.
Mm.
They think that they're doing something nice for their community, but what is really happening is they put their guard down because they don't think about failure. They just do it. And all of a sudden, do I like to lead or follow? Do I want to work in an
Mhm.
office? Do I want to work outside? And they start to think about, wow, I am starting to understand what's important to me. So while they are serving their community, they're figuring out how do I want to lead or follow and what kind of
Yeah.
career is a good fit for my personality.
Yes, and it's kind of like a discovery, where they're going through this process of really discovering themselves, I would think too. And having that experience, I think, really propels them to really be more responsible, and also, getting together with their parents, being able to tell and express to them more of really what they want to do.
And that's the other thing I would tell you that students that I speak to talk about is they're so worried about what everybody's going to say when they do reveal what they want to do. I
Yeah.
have dancers who won't tell their families. I have artists that won't tell their families because why they're fearful that maybe they won't be supported in those areas because they aren't ones that really make a lot of money. And of course, the parent just wants what's best for the student, but they want them to be self-sufficient at some point. So
Yeah.
when I talk about it, we don't ask, "What do you wanna do?" We talk about, "Do you like people?" I've had people say, "No, I don't like people."
They don't like people. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would imagine there are people out there that feel that way. So
Yeah,
they're
they're
more
happy to work
recluse.
in yeah,
Yeah.
research is a great place for them, right? They
Mhm.
think, how do I not have to interact socially? I work with animals, some people. I work with chemicals. I work with building materials, right? And
Yeah.
then others say, I don't want the same day twice. I want to do something different every day. And I
Mm.
say, then be an entrepreneur.
That's right. A lot of
um,
curveballs, and no day is the same, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so we help guide them because to do this on their own is like a self-analysis on yourself. That it's a very difficult process. We have some tools that we use. Like I would recommend for any of your listeners, I d-
Mhm.
I don't know if I can give this, but Strength Finders 2.0 is a book that I highly recommend for people who don't know their strengths. I don't make a commission. They probably don't even know that I'm promoting them,
No,
but
but that's a great resource to provide.
yeah, but so
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. I'm looking at how can I help people figure out who they are, why they matter, what are their passions, what are they advocates for, and then ultimately, how can they make money and live the life they want to live? Does that
Yeah.
have college in it? Sure, maybe, sometimes, maybe not. Maybe it's a trade school, and maybe I need to help them figure out how to get into the trade school. So it's much more than just fitting into a brand name college.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know I want to do a quick recap for our audience. We're here with Shellee Howard, and she is the CEO and founder of College Ready, and she's given some great information. So if you have students or even yourself, and also our veterans who are civilians that are looking to consider college, you definitely want to connect with Shellee. And Shellee, how do people connect with you?
I have so many different ways, but I think the easiest way is gonna be my website, which is www.collegereadyplan.com. There it is on the screen. On there, you can reach me either for a complimentary discovery call where I'll get on 30 minutes and help you figure out, is this a great fit for you?
Yeah.
Or, I have my best-selling book on Amazon. You can always just, if you don't want to talk to somebody, right? You can just go and read the book. And
Yeah.
the book is called How to Send Your Student to College Without Losing Your Mind to Your Money. So truly, it is a very challenging process, but not if you know the rules. So the I in the book, I give the rules of the game. So now you know how to play the game, which gives you a competitive edge to be
Yeah.
successful.
And that's such a great resource. And I know that you're on a mission to help a million people. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Not only do we want to help a million people, we want them to do it without debt.
Yeah.
What we're finding is people assume that they have to pay the sticker price. But I challenge the audience. Have you ever paid full price for a home? Have you ever paid full price for a car? Have you ever paid full price for that one thing you've always wanted? I doubt it. I doubt that everybody's paid full price, but for some
Yeah.
reason, people believe that that's what they're going to pay for college. And
Mm.
we help people understand that there are opportunities. Colleges
Yeah.
have plenty of money and they're looking to give it to the best candidate.
Mm. And you are the secret sauce to that.
I try to be not
Yeah.
so secret, but yes, I definitely want people to know there's resources out there. And it's just raising your hand and saying, hey, can somebody help me?
Hmm. Wow. Well, we have our executive director in the green room, and we're going to bring him on. His name is Joseph Molina. He wants to say hi to Shellee and to the audience. And Joe, welcome to the show. I know that he's going to come in. There he is.
Here I am.
Hi,
Well,
Joe. How are
thank you,
you?
Shellee. Good. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Well, nice meeting you, and thank you for doing what you're doing. And
My
I think you're right. One of the things that the chamber does, we cover one of our sections is education. I'm a faculty member, so I understand what it takes from the inside. But one of the things that we do and strongly not support is colleges who their main focus is getting people in student loans. Because student loans is just not the way to go, and especially when they do it to veterans, which they already have a funding source that comes to pay for the college. So, college who abuse that, we definitely do not support them. So I want to thank you for helping veterans and families, military families, and everyone find the colleges that they are suited for, but also in a way that they want to be able to enjoy their life after they graduate. Because most, like you said, most of the people are really kind of enjoy their careers because they have $100,000 debt. And
Mhm.
if you understand student debt, you understand that student debt is kind of like mortgage. You
Mhm.
never pay it. It's just like it's so hard to pay it. It's just set up not to be paid. So thank you for helping our community with that.
It has been my pleasure.
Yeah.
And
Thank you,
and if
Joe.
I may say one more thing is that what you were mentioning earlier was finding the passion, which is key, totally key. But some of us have a passion for things that we're not good at. So having the passion match the skill
Mhm.
is a great formula for success. And that's one of the things that when we talk about entrepreneurs, we talk about that. It's like, what is your passion? And where does your passion meet your ability? Because then those two together can really help you, whether you like people or not, help you become successful in your business or your career. So
Yeah,
yes,
great points, Joe. Great points. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, to join us, Joe, and meeting Shellee. We're two Shelleys here, but we spell
I
our names
know.
differently.
It sounds like a movie. Shellee meets Shellee,
Yeah.
right? Well, thank you,
Uh,
Shellee, both
oh,
Shelleys,
yeah.
for the show. And
Thank you, Joe.
Shellee, host, I'm gonna let you continue with your interview. And it's a great pleasure meeting you. And we look forward because we do help transition military. We do want
Mhm.
to help military kids and military spouses find the careers that they love to do, and in a way that is not going to really hinder their success in the future. So we would love to partner and collaborate with you, and just let us know how you would like to do that with us, and
Mm,
we will happy to support you as you will be supporting our community.
Sounds
yeah.
fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Definitely. Thank you, Joe.
Back to
We
you,
appreciate.
Shellee, the other
Thank you.
Shellee.
Appreciate that. All right. And I know, Shellee, we were in the green room and we were talking about some recent accomplishments. So do you want to share what just happened the last couple of weeks for you?
Yeah, so I just got back from Dubai last week. I was notified in December that College Ready had won Outstanding Business International Business of the Year. And so I got to go to Dubai, which was on my bucket list.
Oh,
And I got to receive this award on stage in person, which was so
exciting.
exciting. Yes, in a room
Yeah.
full
What a
of
photo
people.
opportunity.
And I got to give a
Yeah.
keynote presentation and
Mhm.
encourage people to not just think you can't do it. There are
Yeah.
13 colleges that are tuition free. So for everybody who is concerned, I can't afford college, free is doable. Now you do have to do the
Mm,
work. It's not free and don't do the work, but
yeah.
please don't let money be that thing that stands in front of you. I will
Mhm.
be
That's
receiving
such
an
a great
award,
point. Yeah.
this upcoming week in Las Vegas for leadership because I
Mm,
believe that we need to step up and we need to make a change, and
yeah.
we need to help people understand that they don't need to go into debt to go to college.
Wow. And that's music to a lot of parents' ears, especially when you think of, like Joe was pointing out, the student debt loans that are out there and, just different government programs. And like you said, scholarships that are out there, they have money to give away to students. You just have to do the work, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So somebody just asked for the list, and I would love to give you
Oh,
the list of free colleges. I'm even going to go further. For your listeners, I'm going to give you a free copy of my book, which has the list in it. And that you can go to book.collegereadyplan.com. And you will not only get a free downloadable copy of the book, but the list of the free colleges are in there.
perfect. And that is a great resource for our audience and, definitely the book too. So thank you so much, Shellee, for offering that. And I have a couple last questions because we're almost at our time here. I would love for you to share with our audience. I know you're so busy and you have a lot of things going, traveling and speaking and the things that you've been, doing for students and parents. What do you do for self-care?
So for self-care, I'm pretty good about my morning routine. If I can just get up and start with my routine, it really is all about affirmations, positive thinking,
Yeah.
relaxation. Starting my day with the right mindset is a
Mm,
big piece. And then I love all things water. So I try to get to the beach.
oh,
Anytime I can get to the water, that's where my self-care happens.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure that your books and your speaking will take you to places where you can definitely be near water. No doubt about
Absolutely.
that. No doubt about that. So in closing, what is that one last thing that you would like to share with our audience that you haven't already shared, Shellee?
The most important thing is plan early. Most people think the junior year is the time to start talking about college. Unfortunately, money-wise, that is a big problem. The FAFSA looks at the second semester of the sophomore year, first
Mhm.
semester of the junior year. So really the best time to start planning is when your student is finishing 8th grade.
8th
8th grade,
grade.
okay?
Very early.
That
Yeah.
is a really important piece. The longer you wait, the more money you're gonna spend.
Hmm. That is a very great tip. And again, Shellee, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you being on the show. And we want to thank our sponsor, who is Michael Allison with Groomed and Tailored. And Michael's been on our show in the past too. So you can go back and look for his show in the videos on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button and definitely come back and join us. We're on twice a month on Fridays, but you can go back and look at a lot of the shows that we have on YouTube. Again, Shellee, I want to thank you for being here. And we want to thank our audience for continuing to support us, and go out there and support a veteran and just say thank you, and let them know how much you care. And with that, we will see you next time.